Hello guys and girls, thank you for joining me. My name's Dede, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a rerun of the video that I posted and deleted from 2 days ago. I'm going to get it straight up because so many people have asked me to do it again. So I'm going to do it again, but obviously I'm not going to talk about what I talked about in the last one. I'm going to talk about what I enjoy about the job. I'm going to talk about my agency and my wages. That's it. That's all I'm going to talk about in this one. First of all, I want to apologise to anyone that I offended in my last video. I'm sorry for being disrespectful. I'm not a disrespectful person, not at all. And the aim of my videos is not to offend people. My videos are to offer an insight into what HGV driving can be like when you look at it from a different perspective, basically. My channel is based around me going out, doing my job, enjoying it, but poking fun at myself. I act like I'm the stupidest person in the world. I tell people I'm stupid. I do silly things, but I'm not actually that stupid. Some of the stuff you hear on my channel, take it with a pinch of salt, right? I'm not lying or being dishonest, but the way I like to be entertaining, and I've been like this all my life, is by making fun of myself, pointing fun at myself, kind of like the way Lee Evans does his comedy. He makes fun of himself, you know, monkey boy, that kind of thing. That's how I like to be entertaining. So the eject or ceto button, if you saw that video, I knew that that was the departure lane system, and when you go over a white line, it buzzes. I know that, but I wanted to make it a little bit more entertaining, and it made a couple of people laugh. So there you go. If I don't know something, I will ask you, because I know there's hundreds of you, well there's actually thousands of you that are watching me at the moment, and you all give me advice. I take that advice on board. I am not a know-it-all. I'm definitely not a know-it-all. I will take any advice I can, and I will soak up every piece of advice that I can. Trust me, I'm not a know-it-all, and I'm definitely not disrespectful, and I definitely don't want to offend anyone. So with that out of the way, you know, I do apologise if I offended you. I'm saying it again. But with that out of the way, we'll get into what I like about the job and why I'm still enjoying it. Now, the best thing for me about it is when I walk into a transport office in the morning, I've got to, you know, stand there with the rest of the drivers, and I just stand and wait. You know, I'm not in a rush, I'm not bothered. Stand and wait. When they get round to me, they give me the keys. That's me done. That's me out. That's me on my own. No one's going to bother me. No one's going to bother me. No one to get in my way. No one to tell me what to do. I do as I please when I leave them gates or when I've got them truck keys in my hand. That is the favourite thing for me about this job. And one thing you've got to understand is I've done some, you know, well, not bad jobs, but I've done quite a few jobs. I was a pharmacist technician at a chemist on Charlie Hill Road. I was one below a pharmacist before I was pretty much discriminated against and got paid to leave the firm because they didn't like the way that I looked. So I was in a pretty important role, working in a shop dispensing medication to people that was dying and stuff. I've been a bin man for Bolton Council. I've been a furniture frame manufacturer for DHL and DFS, not DHL, CHL. That other big furniture company, DFS and the other one. I've worked at McDonald's flipping burgers. That was my first job. I've been in the army. I've been a warehouse operative. What was the last? A scaffolder. You know, people have told me things like, but you haven't worked 6 days for 6 weeks or whatever. I did about 6 weeks, 7 days a week, 10-hour shifts, scaffolding, to try and bring the money in because I want money. I know what hard work is, so if I come across that HGV driving is easy, that's because for me personally, it is. For me personally, I can't believe that I am getting paid for sitting on my bum for 8 hours a day. I can't believe it. You've got to understand that from my point of view. I was a scaffolder, you know, carrying too long at a time, constantly, back and forth, all day. carrying 5/8 at a time, constantly, back and forth, 2 bags of swivels on shoulder, in one go, back and forth, all day. And then putting stuff up, chaining gear up constantly, all day. I don't know if you saw the scaffolding on Skulls in Wigan, all the flats. I helped to put that up. And sometimes for a full day, for 10 hours, we'd just be chaining gear up to the top, 13 lifts up, just chaining constantly. So driving for me is easy. Multi-drop for me is easy. If lorry driving's all you've done, then it's going to be monotonous and it's going to be boring. But for me, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy the fact that I'm just out, that there's no one mithering me, that I can do whatever I want to. I think that the money's good. I think that the money's decent for the job that I do. I'm earning more now than what I was when I was scaffolding. Obviously not doing the 7 days a week, I was earning quite a bit then, but for working 6 days, I think I'm on quite a good wage. I think the money's decent. That's another thing that I enjoy, that I like about it. I like the fact that I don't know where I'm going at the moment. I have absolutely no idea what I'm driving. I don't know where I'm going. Most of the time now I'm on the fruit and veg. That's because, for one, they like me, and two, it's good money. I'm doing longer days, pretty much a minimum of 10 hours a day now. It may be only once a week that I do an 8-hour shift or a 9-hour shift. They're mainly all above 10, which is good for me. I like that. I like the fact that I can eat what I want. I can stop when I want. If I want to leave the yard, drive to the closest petrol station and pull up and have a 15-minute break and have a brew, I can do that. I can stop wherever I want to for something to eat. I've been stopping in Carvery pubs and having burgers, even though they're obviously not the best for me. That's what I've been doing. If I want to take something to eat, I can do, and I can eat it whenever I want. Whereas in scaffolding, for example, or working in a chemist, or being on the bins, you can't do that. If you're starving, well, it's tough. You wait, don't you? So, they're just a couple of things that I enjoy about the job. As per usual, I've not scripted anything. I'm just saying it as I'm thinking it. So, they're the things that I'm enjoying. That's what I love about this job, and I love just being in a wagon, being higher up than everyone else. It's great. You can see stuff. You can see for miles in some places. Whereas if you're in a car, all you can see is hedges. You have no idea what's on the other side. But as soon as you get in a wagon and look over an edge, like when I went to Newcastle in my most recent vlog, you could see for miles. And the views, I thought Newcastle was going to be built up. I thought it was going to be like a metropolis, like London town centre. But it's not. It's just wildlife. It's absolutely crazy. It's unbelievable. So anyway, we'll jump on to my agency. I'm with Driver Hire. Driver Hire in Lee. That's my personal agency. If you want to contact them, you can tell them I've sent you. If you're honest, hard-working, if you've got points on your licence, they'll accept you. If you've got an IN10 or anything like that, I don't know what DD is. Maybe DD is drink driving, I don't know, but DD, they accept them. If you're honest and reliable and hard-working, and you accept whatever they give you, then they'll do you good. They have done with me. I've already been informed that I'm working Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and next week. And he's told me that he will find me something for Tuesday and Wednesday. Happy days. I had to have last week off, or this week, now it's Sunday today. I had to have last week off because my daughter wasn't so good. She couldn't go in nursery. She had chicken pox, and the wife's only just started working back at the hospital. So I took time off work to look after Gracie. So there's been no vlogs for this week. And I can do 6 days next week because I've had like 4 full days off. So that's alright. He's getting me work for next week, so that's good. 6 days, going to be a decent amount of money. They do have branches all over the UK. I know a lad that's working for one down in London, a Driver Hire. I'm sure he said Heathrow. Can't remember, but they are all over the country. There is a Driver Hire in Oldham. I do work for them. If they can't find me work for the one in Lee, then 9 times out of 10 I'll get a phone call from the Oldham one and I'll go looking for Oldham. They do pay me £10 expenses for my travel, because I do have to travel quite a way, an hour and a half to work and an hour and a half back. No problem for me, as long as I'm in work, that's alright. They can offer variety, they can put you basically wherever you want. If you're reliable with them and you're hard working, if you turn around and say, can I have a week off doing fruit and veg, I want to go and do something else for a week, they'll say, yeah, I'll see what I can fit you in for. And that's what they'll do. At the moment, I'm enjoying the fruit and veg. I've told Matt I'm enjoying the fruit and veg. It's good money, which means it's more money for them as well. So they're happy with that. So I'm with the fruit and veg most of the time now. You have got to remember that agencies are a business, that if you fuss it or you moan or you don't accept work that they give you, then they're not going to get back to you. You know, you need to, if you want to work for an agency, you basically just got to accept whatever they give you and accept it as your job. It's your job to do whatever job they give you. If you go into it with that frame of mind, then you can, you know, kind of expect the unexpected. If they want to put you in a van with a wobbly wheel, then just get on with it. Just go and do it. If it's dangerous or whatever, obviously you don't go out and do it. But you've just got to accept what they give you. That's the whole point of an agency. That's again, this is my opinion. My opinion is you do what they tell you to do, because basically they're employing you, they're giving you work. If you work for, you know, McDonald's and your boss tells you to go outside and empty the dustbins, it's not something you really want to do, but at the end of the day, it's what you're there to do, it's a job. So if they give you a 7.5 tonner or a van for the day, you just get in it and go and do your job, forget about it, and then the day after you might get put in a 32 ton 8-legger that's amazing, that's massive, that's fitted with every gizmo and gadget you can think of. Do you know what I mean? You just take the rough with the smooth. So we'll get on to my wage and what I get paid. On my phone for this because I forgot. So I'm going to go through the same slip and the same wage as I did on my previous video. If you've already seen it, then you can turn it off at this bit because it's going to be exactly the same. But the week ending, the 27th of October, which was 2 weeks ago, I worked from 7 o'clock in the morning till 3:30 in a 7.5 tonner for the window frame place. Then I did 7 in the morning till 7 at night on Tuesday in a 7.5 tonner. That's again for the window place, that was the wobbly wheel vehicle. 7 o'clock until 3 o'clock in the steel wagon, that was on Thursday, I had Wednesday off. That was on Thursday, I vlogged that one, that was the What on Earth video. Then I did 5 o'clock until 5:30, 12.5 hours in a class 2 for the fruit and veg place. And then I did on Saturday 4 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in a class 2, and that again was for the fruit and veg. I think I worked it out in the last video as that was 51 hours working time. I think that's obviously not including breaks and stuff like that. That's just the amount of time I spent from going in to walking out. It was 51 hours. And for that I got paid £542.44p for 51 hours spent at work. So 5 days, 5 hours, 46 hours, 46 hours actual work, because I do get my breaks taken off me. 45 minutes I get taken off me. For 41 hours, 46 hours actual work, I got paid 542 quid. The hourly rates at driver hire are £10.75 for class 2, £10.25 for 7.5 tonne. Overtime is after 8 hours unless it's stated otherwise. That is £13.25 an hour until you finish. Saturdays is £13.50 an hour for the entire duration that you're at work. That is me, I'm self-employed. I've always been self-employed. Well, I've been self-employed for well over 7 years now. So it's just the way I've gone. That's just the way I do things. That's one of the reasons why I'm happy on the agency, because although if I started to be picky and choosy, I don't think they'd keep me on. But like this week, I turned around and said to Andy, who's the boss at Driver Hire Lee, I said, listen, I'm really sorry my daughter's not so good. I need to have tomorrow off and the rest of the week. I said, I'm really, really sorry. Like I've said before in my previous videos, I hate letting people down. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. If I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. And to let people down is something that I absolutely hate. But obviously my daughter comes first. Now, yeah, I've lost money. Yeah, I've got to fork out quite a lot in the background for being self-employed. You know, I've got to have an accountant, I've got to pay all my own expenses, I've got to sort all my own taxes out. Well, obviously my accountant does that, but I save my taxes to one side. Accountants aren't cheap. It's cost me, what, 1,300 quid to do my training, plus all the time that I took off work to actually do my training. So if you calculated at scaffolding, just say £500 a week for the 7 months that I was off to do my training. I mean, I didn't need to take the full 7 months off, but I stopped scaffolding because I thought it was going to be a really quick process. I thought that I'd literally be in a class 2 within a couple of weeks, but it turned out to take, I think it was 7 months. So if you work it out, 7 months at £500 a week, I've lost all that as well because I couldn't just go out and get my job back. So it's cost me quite a bit to do my class 2 because I'm self-employed, but that's just the route I've taken. PAYE, I think, is 50 pence less per hour, I think. I think that's about it. I have got a couple of questions. Well, I've got a question that I can remember. Has anyone ever had anything stolen off the back of a curtain-sided trailer? Because it's only since I watched one of Jay's videos where he got his curtain side slashed that I've seen thousands of curtain siders that have been slashed. Has anyone ever actually had anything nicked off the back of a curtain side? I mean, how would they even do that? If you've got like a pallet of baby wipes on the back, are they going to nick that? What are they looking for? What are people looking for when they do that? I don't know. How many of you guys have gone over your driving time or your working time? How many of you guys have got infringements? I just want to know. I will answer the question now. Whether I should or whether I shouldn't, it's anyone's, it's for anyone to shout at me and call me useless and an idiot. But I actually did 10 hours and 7 minutes of driving in my most recent video. Yes, I went over. I pulled over at Butch Services and there was no parking spaces. So I carried on going, and then I just thought, you know what, forget it, I'm just going to go back to the yard. There was nowhere suitable to park beforehand, so I parked it near the yard and then said to someone, come and pick the wagon up, you drive it in, and I can get in the car and I'm gone, sorted. 10 hours and 7 minutes. I've recorded my taco form and wrote on it. But yeah, you could call me stupid or whatever, but I know other people have done it. There was 70 infringements last month at the place that I've worked, so I know I'm not the only one. But if any of you have had any infringements and you want to share it, just let me know, because I'm interested to know how many people do actually do it. Whether that number on the notice board at work is legit or not, I don't know, but I would be interested to find out. If you have any questions for me, any at all, feel free to ask. Anything whatsoever regarding HGV training, planes, personal life, anything you want, anything at all. If you want to ask me a question, feel free. That's about all I've got time for. So I hope I've cleared it up with, the negative side of stuff and the disrespectfulness and the offensiveness. I'm not here to be disrespectful or offensive. That is not me at all. I'm here to be funny, to entertain you, and to show you what HGV driving's like from a completely different perspective to what a lot of people think of it. I got brought up being told that HGV driving is the worst job in the world, don't ever get into it. That was my dad that told me that. Never get into it, it's the worst thing in the world. Well, I've got into it, and I personally don't think it is. I enjoy it, but that's just me. Thank you very much for joining me. If you've liked it, if you've liked the video, comment, like, thumb up or thumb down, and subscribe if you want to see more of me. If you want to check out more of my vlogs, I will put a link to them down below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.